Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Anime Lounge Short Flights. As always, we are brought to you by The Anime Show. Make sure to go check them out on Facebook and Instagram. As you guys can see, Lance is not with us today. He's enjoying a much-needed vacation. So we have Alec, who is one of our guests for our podcast show. So you will recognize his voice because it is very unique.
Thanks. Welcome. I guess welcome back. This is my first time for this short flight, so I'm very excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. You want to let us know what happened in episode 11 of Tokyo Revengers?
Yes. So in this episode that just aired today, this was the first meeting of the Toman gang for the new year, and a lot of things happened. Kiseki and Hanman are kicked out of the Toman gang. Yep. Takemichi goes back to the present and gains a lot more clout with the Toman gang in general. Gets two new subordinates under his team, Inopi and the other member from Black Dragon. I can't pull up his name right now.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. So there. I mean, this was a big episode. I mean, I thought this was going to be the finale, but now with everything that happened in this episode, I think there's definitely more to come. So very excited.
Yeah. Some other crazy things. Takemichi finally got a motorcycle scooter thing. They call it a bike. It's a 250. Semantics. And then, like you said, Takemichi finally went back to the future, not in jail. That's a huge one.
Yes.
But I kind of want to start from the beginning. You know, we had Kiseki, and Kiseki got kicked out. Hanma said, well, if he's not in, I'm not in, which then they lose everybody from what used to be Valhalla and Mobius. So that was, yes. I think they said 350 people.
Yeah, they said it was going to reduce Toman back down to 100 members like it previously was. And yep. Mikey was okay with it. He's like, Toman got too big anyways. We lost a lot of our sight. So as far as Mikey's concerned, he's getting back to his roots. And I think that he's pretty satisfied with the decision.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's what needs to happen. I think Toman got way too big, way too fast, and they were losing sight of who they were. And I'm kind of glad they went back to 100 members. Well, they were at 100 members and then whatever they have for, Black Dragons. So because it is Anui and Kukanai. I think it's what it is.
Yeah.
Kukanai.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a snake. He's kind of cool, though. I like him.
Yeah, he does that tongue thing, too.
Yeah. But one thing I do want to bring up about the kicking out of Kiseki is he brings up a lot of verbiage in the way he's talking. Like, Toman in the future is going to be huge. Yep. You were getting weak. I had to do something to change this. I'm now like 95 to 99% sure Kiseki and Takemichi are both from the future, and they're both kind of at odds, trying to make the future that they're set out to be. And until now, Kiseki has been winning, and this is the first time you see him act out in desperation, and he's finally losing for once in his life. So I think he's from the future.
Yeah, I know we had brought that up in our podcast episode when we talked about the first season. I can see it happening. I can see some merit in it. It's super crazy. One thing Takemichi brings up is, we're seeing the real we are seeing the real Kiseki in all the words that he's saying, not this pseudo facade of a person that he's always displaying to everybody. So that was kind of crazy to see. Mm-hmm. And he seemed kind of desperate and weak, which I enjoyed seeing because he wasn't in complete control.
Yep. No, I fully agree with you. It was like seeing him in his raw, just, hey, like, I really have to do something right now or things are not going to go my way, and they don't. And he just falls to the ground and he's defeated. Yep. It's good triumph. It's always good to see. He'd been winning and killing. I'm pretty sure he's killing Hina over and over and over again. And now he's realizing, his power is slipping.
Yeah. It'll be, I don't think this is the end of seeing Kiseki or Hanma but
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be a while before we see him. Obviously, we have one episode left, so of course it's going to be a while because we got to wait for season 3. But in terms of the actual show, I think it's going to be a while before we see their plans come forth again.
Oh, definitely. No, I fully agree there. The importance of Takamichi getting a bike. Now he's been captain of the first division. He's
Mm-hmm.
never had a bike. He's always riding with Shifui.
Chifuyu.
Chifuyu.
Yep.
And he's always been riding on the back of him, and he's the vice commander. Now he has his own bike. He's learning how to ride it, which I thought that whole learning experience was great. It really brought Mikey down to like a kid level, which I thought was pretty cool. But
Yeah,
the importance of him getting a bike, how do you feel about it?
I think it's great. It's Mikey's twin, who you can almost say that his brother was who Mikey emulated to be in a sense. And so now you've got Takamichi. That is almost another thing that binds Mikey and Takamichi together. And Draken's still alive, so that's a big one too, because he helped
Mm-hmm.
build the bike or finish building the bike for Takamichi. So I thought that was huge symbolism there.
He says that he was referencing Takamichi and was like, "Hey, he reminds you a lot of him, doesn't he? Him being
Yep.
Mikey's older brother." So I think there's a lot of duality there, which I really appreciate in the show, honestly.
Yep. Then you got kind of more heartfelt moments after that, where you see Takamichi kind of getting the gang back together one last time before he goes into the future to quote unquote never see him again. Obviously, that's not that's what not gonna happen. But it was kind of cool to see, just that new picture of what is the new Tomon together, and it'll be. I wonder if they make a charm the next time he comes back to kind of bring everything full circle.
I would like to see that. I agree.
I think some big information that got dropped from that meeting was Takamichi telling everybody the last words that Baji had said, which was Kisaki's the enemy. Because up till then, Takamichi, for whatever reason, didn't tell anybody what he said. And now this kind of puts a stamp on Kisaki not joining Tomon ever again.
Yeah, I think he didn't really say anything before because I don't think he really trusted the support that he would have. Kisaki had Mobius behind him. He had Hanman behind him with all of the Valhalla group. So he felt like if he said anything, he'd be taken out pretty quick, and no one would believe him either. But now that they're both out, he finally had the strength to like bring it up and say, "Hey, this was Baji's last words. Don't trust this guy. He's the enemy." And he finally has the support behind him. And I agree. I don't think he's coming back to Toman.
Yep. Then the last real thing was the ending leaves on a super suspenseful note, cliffhanger, where that Takamichi comes back to the present and is at a funeral. Come to find out, it is Chifuyu's funeral, who he called his best friend before he came back to the future.
No. Matsuya. It's Matsuya's funeral, not Chifuyu's.
Oh yeah. It's Mitsuya's funeral. Yes,
Mitsuya,
you're right. I haven't had that wrote down. Man, I got so excited.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, no, it wasn't him. That's his new best friend ever.
Yep.
Mitsuya, because he sees the sisters, he's like, I know them from somewhere. He's like, I'm in a mourning suit. Like, what's going on? Whose funeral am I at? And he sees this picture, and that was a really heartfelt moment for me. So I'm like, he's changed all of these things. Like, yeah, maybe Hina might be alive, maybe Mikey and Draken might be alive, but now there's another person he has to go back and save. So it kind of really sets you up for season 3. And I'm really excited because I feel kind of bad for Takamichi because every time he goes back, he tries to, fix something. And he does, but it creates a problem somewhere else in the future. So it's just like that whole butterfly effect kind of thing going on.
Yeah, it's crazy what happens. Can't wait for next week and finding out what happens in the end. I feel like it's going to be another cliffhanger because that's what they did for us on season 1, and it's going to be crazy.
Oh, I fully agree. I think the show is very well written, very well animated, and it leaves you wanting more. I mean, that's exactly what a show is supposed to do. And I know I'm very excited for season 3. I'm definitely gonna watch it the second it comes out because this show's really pulled me in. I didn't think I mean, I knew it was gonna be, good. I didn't think it was gonna be great. And now that my expectations have been not only met but exceeded. I'm in for the long haul. I can't wait to see where the show goes and how long it's set to last.
Yeah. And next week we'll get to see the season finale. So make sure to catch our reactions next week for that one. Again, make sure to check out the anime show, get all your awesome anime goodness. And then we have an affiliate with the Right Stuff Anime. So help yourself out by helping us out and get your anime stuff through that. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Let us know what you think of this episode. Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.